Jeff and I are going back to the firehouse now, and we'll see you there in a few minutes.
We'll talk more. Thanks.
Nice squint. I'm trying to look at you and right in the middle of the sun, look at the camera too. Well,
We're
Jeff,
back.
I enjoyed doing the video with you. Tell me something about the video, Jeff, and the equipment you use on there.
Well, there's a lot of equipment there, and we only had a little time to just look at it. We've got a little more tape that shows us functioning and operating it, and I think that'll be pretty exciting. It takes a long time to get to know that kind of equipment and to know where it's used right and its special purposes, because everything out there has a special use, and every move you make with it is, in a lot of cases, somebody's life involved.
Well, the squad carries a lot of specialized tools. Got to stop you right here.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Firefighter Aguilar with the Oxnard Fire Department and the Kids Safety House. On behalf of Yolanda's Mexican Cafe and the Oxnard Fire Department, I'd like to invite you and your family to join us for an evening of dining fun and fire safety education. Yolanda's is giving back to the community by donating 20% of your total food bill to the Kids Safety House. So mark your calendars and make plans to join us on March 18th at Yolanda's in Ventura, on March 19th at Yoli's in the Esplanade, and March 20th from 4 to 9 p.m. here at Yolanda's in Oxnard. So mark your calendars and make your plans, and I'll see you there.
Welcome back to the firehouse. I'm here with firefighter Jeff Davis. Jeff, we're going to show you some film in a little bit about squads in action. You'd like to say something about the squads before we show this video?
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of equipment, and it's all being used in different ways by a lot of people. I have quite a large responsibility when I show up on scene, because when I pull up and my equipment comes off, a lot of my activities need to be concerted around my efforts in removing that victim. And the safety for our personnel and that victim are crucial.
Most equipment you use has to be ran by at least 2 people.
That's right.
So you bring the equipment and your expertise, and then Jeff looks for somebody else to help him out.
Excuse me.
If you could we see the video and we'll explain to you what's going on? This is an actual scene. This is Rosen 101 Memorial Weekend.
Well, you don't get the luxury of a daytime event all the time, and here we go. We're at night, and you've got all kinds of things happening. We're going to see the clippers being used. We're going to see the actual hearse tool itself, spreaders. We've got guys climbing on the vehicle to make the sheet metal bend so that we can clip and snip and fold over the roof.
Make the roof go back.
Yeah, we need to bend that roof off so we can get to that vehicle and the people in it. We've got possibilities of hazards there. You saw some leaking liquid, could have been fuel. These are things you got to worry about when you're on the scene of a vehicle accident.
Sometimes when you're trying to get the roofs off of cars, it just doesn't go like it's supposed to.
Well, you're in a time limit here, and it's just so important and so crucial to get those people out as quickly as possible. So any tool you've got has got to be used.
They're using the cutters here again.
They're cutting the doorposts, as I told you before, and you could see a lot of people, a lot of personnel show up in a bad accident like this.
Well, besides squad drivers here, we got the ultimate in all the equipment. We got a ladder truck, we've got PD, we've got paramedics, we've got squad drivers. I think we have 2 squads on this call.
Yep.
And everybody is doing our best, and we're all putting out 110% to get these people out of these cars.
It takes a lot of good communications to function with these tools, because they're dangerous, and they're dangerous to us, and they're dangerous to the occupants in that vehicle. So lots of talk when you're out there. And these things aren't quiet tools, as you can probably guess.
I would like to tell everybody after this was all over, all these people are all right now. So if it looked like it's frightened now with all the equipment, all the equipment we got, the noise and everything running around here, that's why they look quite so frightened that we weren't going to get them out of that car.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. Everybody's going to be okay, and that's our biggest wish. That, you know, when there's an accident like this, that we're going to get them out okay.
We got the paramedics on scene. We've extricated these people. We got Highway Patrol. We got Oxnard PD.
There's the medics packaging them up. Cease-pine precautions.
On the main tools we use on this call, generators.
Oh yeah, the squad does have a generator on it, so we can produce some light on the scene, which is, you know, critical. See what you're doing out there. You don't want to slip and fall, and you sure don't want to hurt anybody.
They're on their way. Another save. We saved them.
Yeah, we did.
I personally didn't save them, but we saved them. It was fun.
Everybody did.
And when we got to use our expertise to everybody did a lot of hard work. And I tell you what, when you use this stuff, you use it. I was the first person they sent to Hirsch School to use the Hirsch tool.
It's a long time ago, Richard.
Yeah, I was a squad driver. That one got turned over. That was a long time ago. we didn't get to keep that one. Jeff, tell me what you like most about the squad.
It's an exciting piece to be on. I think when there is something happening, it's either a fire or a vehicle accident, and you're going to be working. You're actually going to be very involved in the situation that you respond on. I do get to see a lot of the personnel on duty every shift, more than most guys, because of our locations and our first ins. I get to go to them all, so it does make me very flexible in my job.
You know what I like most about the squads? I like the jaws. I like crush cars with them. You tear cars apart and you get the big clippers and it just cuts the roofs. And then we used to carry blowtorches too.
That's such an important piece of equipment. You know, it came from the race car circuit, and it's just been adapted for, you know, everyday use out there for major accidents in civilian life. I
mean, what a better job can you have? We have a job where we get to use tools that cost thousands of dollars, and they're fun, and then we go out and save people's lives with them. Yeah. Jeff, I know you want to say something. You got a little message you want to give everybody? Go ahead. National TV. Tell it to them.
Well, there's three things I'd like to leave you guys with tonight, and I go on all those calls, and I hate to see anybody in a situation like this, and I hope everybody sees me and I don't see you. So if you've got kids and they're under 40 pounds in 4 years, put them in a car seat, please. Always buckle up, wear that seat belt. It saves your life. And never drink and drive. Never.
Jeff, thanks a lot for being on the show tonight.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your expertise as a squad driver and a veteran firefighter with Oxnard Fire Department. Because squad drivers do see a lot more than a lot of other people do, because they do go on all the car wrecks, and it's a tough job.
Glad to be here for you.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Firehouse. That's our show for tonight. I hope you enjoyed our guest, Jeff Davis, firefighter that drives a squad. There's some exciting things happening in the city of Oxnard right now. One of them is the Kids Safety House program. It's funded completely by donations from private individuals. If you would like to donate, check, money order, or cash, you can call 385-7702. We're still looking for sponsors for Fireline. Come on, join the teams, sponsor our show. Our show is produced by off-duty firefighters at no cost to anyone but ourselves. We enjoy doing it for you, the viewing public. I hope you enjoy our show. Street Beat's the other public safety show on Jones Intercable. If you have any questions, you want to write us or call Jones at 485-3888. Fireline would be really glad to hear from you. And we are on our new Monday night slot now, and hopefully everyone will be watching our show. Thanks. We'll see you later.
Oxnard Engine 6, Quad 6, stand by for emergency traffic.
Go ahead for Engine 6.
Oxnard Engine 6, Quad 6, vessel aground in the surf. Manly Beach Road at Whitecap Street. Run card is J4. Switch to the Coast Guard frequency Alpha 21. PD ambulance responding to information. Call came through the Coast Guard.
Engine 6 copy. Engine 6 responding. Switching to Coast Guard frequency. Squad 6 responding. Switching to Coast Guard frequency.
Squad 6 responding. Oxnard Engine 1, Engine 5, Squad 1, Truck 1, Battalion 2. Structure fire at 10156, 10156, C. Charles Street. Cross Street is 3rd Street. Run card is B4. RP is advised there's a 2-story residence with smoke showing.
Oxnard Engine 1 responding.
Engine 1 responding.
Oxnard Engine 5 responding.
Engine 5 responding.
Oxnard Squad 1 responding.
Squad 1 responding.
Oxnard Truck 1 responding.
To our troops in Bosnia, if you need to get a hold of somebody, get a hold of American Red Cross. That's a really wonderful thing the American Red Cross do. I know that in our jobs in disasters, that the fire department's involved with American Red Cross. And let's say I had a fire, I had no place to live, my wife and kids and my dog's out on the street. What would the American Red Cross do for me?
Well, as soon as the Red Cross office gets the call that there's been a fire, we send a representative over there so we can give you some help. A lot of times it starts off with that we'll put you up in a hotel room for a couple of days until we can actually assess, and you can assess what damage is really done to your home. If it's a matter of a long-term needing to have some place to stay on a long term, then we will help you rent an apartment or a house for, we'll give you the first month's rent and your security deposit and set you up with your basic needs. People need to have beds to sleep in, a stove to cook on, refrigerator. They need replacement of clothes, food, pots, pans, medications, and we're there to help you.
American Red Cross in Ventura County, we're working for the people that live in Ventura County, but the American Red Cross does things all over the world, and usually we're more familiar with American Red Cross and the earthquakes in Japan or the tragedies that happen throughout Central America and in our own cities too. But there's a certain amount when it hits home here. We had a fire 2 weeks ago on Victorian Channel Islands, and it was actually Victorian Hemlock, and the American Red Cross came out. The family lost everything they had, and they were getting the people shelter that night, and I think you guys really do a great job. What is one of your most memorable experiences with American Red Cross? Let's say lately.
Lately? Well, I actually had the most memorable experience since I've been with this chapter, I think, was when we had the floods in Fillmore and basically the whole Ventura County area last year, because they needed to have someone go out and set up a shelter, and shelter management is one of the things that I do during disasters. So our disaster director made arrangements with the Sheriff's Department to helicopter myself and 5 other people out to Fillmore, and so we left from Camarillo Airport and wound up landing on the school grounds at Fillmore High School, and they had black and whites waiting for us, but we told them that we would be more than happy to walk, because where we set the shelter up was right across the street from where we landed. The reception that we got from the people that were there, knowing that we were there to help, made us feel welcome and needed, and when we knew that we were doing the right thing.
So when you got a nice helicopter ride?
Nice helicopter ride.
That was fun?
Yeah.
And then you work with the Sheriff's Department, and they help you set these shelters up too?
Yes, actually in different locations around the county, we have, whether they're in trailers or whatever, we've got things that we need to set up basic shelters. We've got cots and blankets, and that was kept there at the VFW Hall in Fillmore. And so we just set up cots and blankets and made arrangements for dinner to be delivered that night to the individuals that we had that were either flooded out of their homes or were afraid that a mountain may come down on them, and so they came over to the shelter and stayed.
Well, in California, the American Red Cross is a pretty important thing, because California is going from one disaster to another usually. We're in the firehouse now, and we're going to have to take a break, but we'll be right back.
Can you make a difference in a child's life? Every month, 45 to 60 more children have been abused, neglected, or abandoned. Foster parents are families just like yours. They've chosen to share their lives with a child in need of love, care, and understanding. There's a critical shortage of foster homes for children of all ages. You, as a foster parent, can change a child's life. These children are our future. Help make that future brighter. For more information regarding foster parenting, contact Ventura County Children's Protective Services at 805-654-3456.
Nobody's doing more to keep them apart. We're the March of Dimes.
Hi, welcome back to the Firehouse. I'm here with Carol Becker from the American Red Cross. Carol, welcome to the last segment of this show.
Thank you.
Carol, you were instrumental in teaching all the firefighters in the city of Oxnard Fire Department to become CPR and first aid instructors. What was the experience like?
Well, it was a little bit crazy. It reaffirmed all of my feelings that in the seriousness of what you people do to make a living, that in the background you're all clowns. Just reaffirmed everything.
So what's it really like working with? You can come and give it to me. What's it really like working with?
Well, it was a lot of fun. Everybody was very professional when it came down to presenting their skills. So I knew that they really knew what they were doing, because you people do this in real life. But we had a lot of fun in all the teach-backs that the firemen had to do to myself, too. So I knew that they knew how to teach somebody else. That's what it's all about.
So we were demonstrating our skills for you?
Yeah. Most of them were proper, too.
Yeah. What was it? Do you have any highlights in this thing?
Not real. Well, I would almost say that Niles is on one of our cameras tonight, because it was a little unorthodox the way we had to teach the class. We had to work around firemen coming and going because of an emergency. So sometimes in the middle of the class they'd leave and come back and finish up in another class. And it wound up that Niles wound up taking the last class before he took the middle class. He did very well in his skills, but it was just kind of crazy. It was fun going to lunch in a fire truck, something you don't do every day.
The Station 1 is a quite hectic place.
Yeah, it is, very hectic.
And it's one of the busiest fire stations in the Tri-County areas. So when you teach classes there, there's a lot of firemen, firefighters are coming and going all the time. They're answering calls, and it is headquarters station, and it is downtown. And we have Tom Sugawara. He's out, and he's camera 2 today, and he's out here, and he was in your class. And Nels Jorgensen, he's over there, and he's on camera 3. And they said they had a really good time with you. I had a different instructor than yourself, and we had a lot of fun with as a man named Herb Frost, and he was. We entertained him, and he entertained us.
Yeah, Herb does.
In our class, I videoed part of our class. When you do a lot of stuff that we do, it's a lot of hands-on. And I'm an instructor, and you teach people, you have to do the Heimlich maneuvers, you have to practice. You have to practice what you teach. And a lot of people don't like to touch each other. But you're always in a situation where we're involved with teaching that we're going to go ahead and do a lot of hands-on. So could we have this video?
Okay, I got life-threatening emergencies in infants and children. Kids. This looks just like Chris. And you use a kid, you know, if you're going to do see how, and you don't use abdominal thrust, use a back thrust 5 times. This is
it's a head injury.
Oh! What?
We had a police officer. Herb, we had a police officer down. He broke his foot, and this is
Oh, man, he's
the police officer.
Timo, I got to down. Okay. I'm going to roll him over on this side, so the only way I can do that, get up. You're unconscious. Hold this arm up, okay? Now I can roll him over. Okay, why do I have to to do it that way. Because if his arm's down, then his shoulder's going to be in my way, and so is his podium. So it goes back to the
Now, see, this is a good example because...
emergency. So, I have to establish that he's unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Poor Kate. Okay, so you shake. Listen and shout. You shake, shout, and listen. Okay, I'm shaking him to establish that he doesn't respond to me. I'm shouting at him. I'm hurting him.
Rudy,
and I'm
look
going to
at this,
listen
I
to see
see.
if he's breathing. Okay, he's breathing. He's unconscious.
Hey, what are you doing?
Look at him.
Hey! What's going on? You know, you could get a violent reaction that way. And you know what's so real loud? By yelling real loud, it can make him respond, right?
Okay.
Good.
All right,
Good.
so he's unconscious. First thing I'm going to do is pick one of my bystanders. Sir, go call 911. Cover it with my other hand and push in and up. Go 5 thrusts. Keep doing it until it's dislodged or until he goes unconscious. Deep breaths. Check.
The big one.
What?
Check the pulse. Okay. Then start CPR.
Okay. Position your finger in the center of the breastbone.
I believe another explanation, Mr. Velasquez, was inadequate perfusion. Would you agree with that?
Good way to fill it out.
This is your typical CPR instructors class.
That's right.
We had a great time. We enjoyed both you and Herb coming out and teaching us, and now City of Oxnard has a whole department full of CPR and first aid instructors to better help serve the people here in Ventura County and City of Oxnard. Carol Becker, American Red Cross, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for asking me, Richard.
And we're going to keep in touch with you and find out what you're doing later on in your career.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to have to break for a second, but we'll be right back.
Alcohol can have a bad influence, especially on an unborn child. The ARC warns that drinking during pregnancy can cause birth defects and mental retardation, conditions which last a lifetime. You can't drink to your baby's health. For more information, call the ARC, a nationwide organization on mental retardation.
Nobody's doing more to keep them apart. We're the March of Dimes.
Perhaps your future's up in the air, and you just don't know it. Aim high, Air Force.
Welcome back to the Firehouse. I'm here with my next guest, Lisa LaRue Hardy. She's here representing firefighter paramedic Scott LaRue and his family. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How did you get involved in the National Marrow Donor Program?
Well, last June of 1995, Scott and Teresa's 13-and-a-half-month-old boy, Lane, became very ill and ended up dying. What happened was he came down with a fever and he started getting a rash on his body. They took him to their doctors in Thousand Oaks, and after running tests, they discovered that his white blood cell count was extremely low. So they immediately took him over to UCLA Medical Center, and he went through several tests there, and they discovered that he had mono. And his liver failed, kidney failed, his body just couldn't fight the monovirus, and after 5 days at UCLA, he died. So the LaRues had to go through further testing to find out why Lane died from mono, why his little body couldn't beat the disease. And they found out that he died of a disorder called X-linked lymphoproliferative genetic disorder. And it's called XLP, and what it is it's passed down from mother to sons only, and basically the kids are born with no immune system. And through the testing, they found out that Garrett, their 3.5-year-old, and Blake, who is now almost a year old, they also were afflicted with the same disorder.
How hard is it to find a match for the donors?
It's very hard. It could be anywhere from 1 in 100 to 1 in a million, and the doctors at UCLA told Scott and Teresa LaRue that it was like winning the lottery, and they would have to win it twice.
Well, we're going to a situation now. That's terrible, because Scott LaRue is a firefighter, and your husband's a firefighter, and in the fire service, we're like, firemen are kind of one big happy family, and we're brothers and sisters in the fire service. So the fire service is really starting to turn out and donate blood to try to find donors for the LaRue family.
Right.
What are you involved in right now? What's going on right now?
Right now, we've been working on putting together a drive in Thousand Oaks, and that drive will take place May 11th at the Thousand Oaks Park in Thousand Oaks. It's on a Saturday. I've been assisting the National Marrow Donor Program in trying to recruit people to come out and become a marrow donor. If people knew how easy it was to be a marrow donor, I think we would get a lot more response out there. People are so afraid when they hear bone marrow transplant. It is very easy. You come out, you fill out a consent form. Your consent form is reviewed by some of the people that are volunteered there. They pass you on to a phlebotomist who draws 2 little vials of blood. Your blood is tested for your tissue type. You are put on a national registry, and from there, that's where the matches are found. Every day, people that are becoming donors are added to this registry, and as well as people who need bone marrow transplants, they are added to the registry, and they check the registry on a daily basis for matches. And when a match comes up, they do further testing on the individual to find a perfect match. And if a perfect match is found and you do become an actual donor, the procedure is very, very easy. You go into the hospital, they give you a general anesthetic, and because of that, you spend 1 night in the hospital. They take a needle, they put it into your pelvic bone, they extract no more than 5% of your marrow, and within 10 days, your body naturally replenishes that marrow, so you're not giving anything up. And the only thing that happens is you may be sore for about a week or so. You may feel like you have a bruised hip.
So when the doctors do blood marrow transplants, they do it with the 5% of the marrow they take from you.
Correct.
But I understand they use chemotherapy, and the kids, they have to have everything killed in their immune system.
Correct. Like with Blake and Garrett, they don't have much of an immune system. That's what the XLP is. Basically, they're born with little to no immune system, and that's why their bodies can't fight off the monovirus. But with Blake, he just underwent a procedure at UCLA, and he received cord blood, which was the first time UCLA has done the cord blood procedure. But they gave him chemotherapy, they killed off all his existing bone marrow, and then they gave him the cord blood. And the cord blood is extremely high in stem cells, and that's why they chose the cord blood as opposed to having a non-related marrow match.
Where's Blake now?
Blake now is in an apartment in UCLA that Teresa and Scott have been renting for the past couple of months. They have released him from UCLA. He's doing pretty good. His white blood count is coming up. His little body is coming back. The stem cell seems to be graphing, and he's doing a lot better. He still isn't out of the woods, but he's doing a lot better.
So he still has to be monitored 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day, he has to have care. Scott and Teresa have had to learn to give him a shot in his leg. They have several medications that they have to give him. They have to hook him up to an IV through catheters that are going into his chest. So, and this has to constantly be cleaned on a daily basis. So right now he still has a lot of medical treatment that they themselves have to give him.
I hear that we may have another donor from Finland?
Yes, there has been a perfect match found for Garrett. The LaRues are going to take a break, being that they still have so much care for Blake. They cannot possibly start Garrett on his procedure yet.
Why is it important that if you've got a match for one, Blake's getting better, why is it important to continue the marrow donor drives right now?
The National Marrow Donor Registry actually I feel should be called an international donor registry because it serves everybody in the world that is on the national registry list. So this isn't just for the LaRue children. A lot of these drives are being held now in honor of the LaRue children to help other kids and other people like them. For an example, there's approximately 87 children in Ventura County alone who need bone marrow transplants. So we need to get as many people on this registry as possible so that they can be helped just like the LaRues were helped.
Well, this is a tragic disease. And I'm glad you had to pronounce it because after reading it before we went on the air, I could have never pronounced this. My whole crew, Station 6 BCF, Channel Islands and Peninsula, and my wife, we went down on to Hollywood Beach School and we got tested, and hopefully something will become of it.
It was very easy, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was very easy.
You don't give a pint of blood.
No.
2 little vials of blood is all they take.
It's a small one. So if you're out there, we have another donor drive, May 11th at Thousand Oaks Park. Come out, give a little blood. Maybe you can give a lot of life to some individual. Maybe not in Ventura County, maybe not the LaRues, but somebody that needs a marrow bone transplant, because this could save their lives.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for being on the show.
You're very welcome.
And tell Scott and his family that the fire service and Oxnard firemen, we best of wishes to everyone, and we hope the kids are going to be all right.
Thank you.
We're going to break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Firehouse. That's our show for tonight. I would like to thank Carol Becker and Lisa LaRue Hardy for being on the show tonight. Remember, our new time slot is Monday, Channel 19, 6:30. Please tune in. Remember also that Oxnard firefighters produce Fireline on their own time at no cost to you, the viewing public. Hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you Monday nights, 6:30, Channel 19, Jones Intercable.
Stand by for emergency traffic.
Go ahead for engine 6.
Oxnard engine 6, quad 6, vessel aground in the surf. Manly Beach Road at Whitecap Street. Run card is J4. Switch to the Coast Guard frequency Alpha 21. PD ambulance responding information. Call came through the Coast Guard.
Engine 6 copy, engine 6 responding, switch into Coast Guard frequency. Squad 6 responding, switch to Coast Guard frequency.
Squad 6 responding. Oxnard engine 1, engine 5, squad 1, truck 1, battalion 2. Structure fire at 10156, 10156, C. Charles Street. Cross Street is 3rd Street, run card is B4.